And Zion hurt again as the NBA season begins. Is there reason to worry? This is a problem that isn't ever going away. Delighted to have you getting up with us on a Tuesday on ESPN. I'm Mike Greenberg, and this is my support group. Coming off of a night last night that was just brutal. You were aware already, most likely, of what happened in the Monday Night Football game. You may not be aware that since then, the Patriots got a whole lot better. Breaking news this morning. The New England Patriots have acquired Mohamed Sanu from the Atlanta Falcons, trading a second-round pick to Atlanta for a star receiver who seems to be exactly what the Patriots need. Shefty had the reporting. Graziano's got the details coming up in a moment. After, I'm contractually obligated to show you this. Sam Darnold and the Jets trying to get their offense going against the Patriots after New England opened the game with a 9-minute, 16-play touchdown drive. And this is Darnold's first pass.
Terrible play design by Adam Gase. He leaves Le'Veon Bell out there. McCourty's not going to pay any attention to him. You're going to hear this a lot. Cover zero blitz gets home to Sam Darnold. He doesn't see McCourty watching him. Easy pick for Patriots defense.
McCourty's fifth interception of the season, as more than 14 NFL teams have. Later in the first, it's Brady. How about a dime to Philip Dorsett?
Good play design. Nice stem by Dorsett on his release. Gets Tremaine Johnson to get frozen for just a second. Absolute beautiful throw by Brady.
So it's 17-0, and then the Patriots defense, which is outstanding, just takes over the game. Here's Sam Darnold. No one blocking John Simon.
Yeah, you need to find that guy for sure. And then you look at the way Sam Darnold is playing. Obviously, right there, he's seeing ghost.
Yeah, and he would later say he was seeing ghost, and it was right around that moment that I opened up the scotch. Later, 24-0. Darnold, who is he throwing this to?
Listen, this is a really nice job by the Patriots. On the motion, they changed their coverage from man to zone. Darnold anticipated the man, did not think Duron Harmon would be there, and he's saying to himself, I'm seeing ghosts.
Yeah, he wasn't saying it to himself. He was saying it out loud, unfortunately. Then it gets worse. 11 minutes left in the third. More pressure. Stephon Gilmore this time.
Brace yourself. This was a cover zero blitz, Coach Adam Gase.
And then here comes Darnold again, off his back foot, throwing it up in the air. In all, Sam Darnold, 11 of 32, 5 total turnovers, 86 yards. Patriots are 33-0. They're 7-0. The Jets stink.
When I talk to the coaches, I just got to be, straight up. And, for me, I just got to see the field a lot better. That's kind of what that means. And, it was a rough day out there.
How were you guys able to rattle him? He said at one point on the ESPN broadcast that I felt like he was seeing ghosts out there.
He did?
Yeah.
That's the boogeyman. That's the boogeyman. It's real.
You talk about the kind of the continuity of your defense, where up front you guys are putting pressure.
Sorry. He really said that?
Yeah. Well, how were you guys able to rattle him for him to see ghosts?
That's crazy for him to say that. That makes it real, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it was real. So a variety of different angles I would like to take. Let's just start with the most basic. When he says, I'm seeing ghosts as a quarterback, let's explain to the audience what it is he's saying.
A historically great defense. First of all, no. So when New England plays their cover zero blitz, you as a quarterback have to prepare for the worst case scenario. Okay, there's going to be too many people that we can block. Ball has to get out of my hands under 1 second. And then what New England will do is show you that same exact look and drop people out. And it's not going to be everybody pressuring you. And you can block everybody, but you're so prepared to have to get the ball out of your hands that you start to see things that aren't there. So it's the zero blitz and you see it and it's happening, and then it's not going to be zero and you expect it to happen. You go, it never happened. And that's the thing that Sam Darnold's talking about is I'm seeing things that aren't happening.
So Dan is going to do a really good breakdown of this for us at the half hour here. So 25 minutes away, and you'll get a sense of exactly what it is the Patriots are doing. Swagoo, let me ask you this. Should Adam Gase, after this game last night, be fired? Or should some sort of legal action be brought against him by me? I'm more than happy to lead that, because that was as embarrassing a performance by an offensive coach as I have ever seen in my life, and I'm 52 years old.
Yeah, people are going to rip Sam Darnold for the way he played, throwing off his back foot, seeing ghosts, as he mentioned. But Adam Gase has to make some type of adjustment. I looked on the other sideline. And all Tom Brady does is have a check down safety valve every single play. This is a Jets defense that went out against the Cowboys and performed well. The Jets actually had some blitzes that would have gotten home, but Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady said, hey, regardless of what play I call, I'm going to give you an out. Adam Gase never went to his young quarterback and said, look, I'm a leak Le'Veon. I'm a leak a tight end. Maybe we don't gain but 2 or 3 yards, but I want you to get the ball out of your hand and see some rhythm. They did a terrible job of helping him throughout this football game yesterday.
So strange about that is Adam Gase had a fair bit of success against the Patriots when he was coaching the Dolphins, to the point where before the first Patriots-Jets game this year, Patriots defenders were telling me when I talked to them that they were watching Miami tape to try and figure out what Gase would and wouldn't try and do against them. So it was strange to see them looking that sort of unprepared.
But here's the thing, to Marcus's point, that's most concerning about it to me. When you're a coach and you're playing a team that you know is going to pressure you, your number one job is to make sure you're safe as an offense. Like, defend yourself against that pressure. And I never saw that from Gase last night. It wasn't, hey, we're going to max protect. It wasn't, we're going to try and run away from pressure. It wasn't, we're going to try and slip a screen out to a wide receiver on the perimeter. It was like, hey, we'll just get the ball out and you throw an outbreaking route. There was never a time where you planned, I'm going to make sure that you and the ball are safe early on.
I'm watching this game last night, and I'm realizing, you know what? Sam Darnold has only started 16 games in his career, right? He went out against Dallas and had a really good game. We all talked about it. We were excited. Now you're in a situation where you have to coach this young man out of his own head. That was the issue I had with Gase. Look, they had a sideline exchange where Adam Gase told him, hey, relax, settle down, let's get in the end zone. We get the ball after halftime. I like that piece of coaching. But it's also the X's and O's part that you need to give the kid. And in that situation, when you have a quarterback that's absolutely lost, you need to find some answer for him.
And I think that, yes, we should talk here about Sam Darnold and Adam Gase. There's no question. We also need to give credit where it's due. Like, the Patriots are historically great on defense right now. What they're doing right now, I honestly believe will become something like the Tampa 2 defense that we saw, or the Seattle Seahawks in their cover 3, or the Pittsburgh Steelers in their zone blitz, where everyone else is going to look at it and go, wait, we have to copy what they're doing. It's so good. And so we could bash them, and we should, but goodness, it is good.
But then even to that point, from a defensive standpoint, right, the really good defenses dictate tempo. That's what they do. We talk about the great Baltimore defenses. We talk about when Harbaugh was in San Francisco. You create pressure and you play man-to-man on the back end. And cover 0 for everybody is when you send everybody and your corners and safeties are locked up one-on-one. The object of that is to not give the quarterback time. They do it as well as anybody I've seen in recent years.
Okay, so we will talk more about that as we go, and we'll talk more about this game as we go, but we must also now get to the fact that while, again, this morning, the Patriots sent a second-round pick to Atlanta from Mohamed Sanu. Dan Graziano, take us through how this happened, and this is a deal they've been trying to make for some time.
They were talking to Atlanta about Sanu around the draft. At that time, Atlanta was telling teams, no, we expect we're going to be a contender this year. They're obviously terribly wrong about that, so obviously now they're looking to make deals. But the Patriots have been on receivers all summer and all fall. Antonio Brown was on the team very briefly. That didn't work out. So they have been poking around on Emmanuel Sanders and other guys that have been available. But Sanu makes a lot of sense. Second-round pick is no small price, but the Patriots are looking to beef up the offense. We talk about who have they beaten, right? How do we measure the Patriots? The Patriots look at it the same way. They're trying to build themselves a team for January. They're not going to get high on their own success. So they know where they're deficient and where they still need work.
Let's just be as direct as we can be here. The New England Patriots have a real chance to make a run at unbeaten. This is an extraordinary acquisition. If they are not beset by a variety of injury, they're going to be favored in every game they play the rest of the season. I don't care who we're talking about. Sanu is exactly what this team didn't have, and you and I were talking earlier before the show, they're just always a step ahead.
Look, Mohamed Sanu, first of all, is the epitome of the Patriot way. A very under-the-radar, really good player, reliable. Bill Parcells used to tell me all the time, which is the same Belichick coaching tree. I would rather take a guy to the game where I know what I'm getting. He may not be a superstar. He may not be a Pro Bowl or All-Pro. But if I put you at the 3 technique, I need to know you're going to stay in the B gap and hold the B gap down. So Sanu is going to do that for the New England Patriots. And Belichick is the GM as well. They are just so far ahead of everybody on these type of moves.
This team right now is going to become unstoppable. And it's because of this addition with Sanu, and this is why. One, they can play big with Sanu, N'Keal Harry's coming back, and Josh Gordon, and they can play small with the running backs. And then Sanu's one of the better on the perimeter blocking receivers in the NFL. What do the Patriots love to run? Screens. Now you can have a big guy out there dominating DBs.
So, and to sort of sum up where we've been so far in our first 10 minutes, this is one of the worst days I've had in a long time, and the Patriots are going to go 16-0. That's where we begin. Meanwhile, as the NBA season begins tonight, Elle, there's bad news there.
There is, because the Pelicans open up their NBA season tonight, and the biggest star on the court will be Lonzo Ball. That's because Zion Williams is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks after undergoing arthroscopic surgery Monday to address a torn lateral meniscus in his right knee. Over his first 4 games in the preseason, Zion had averaged 23.3 points and 6.5 rebounds while shooting 71. Look, all in all, he was really, really good in the preseason, yes. Jay Will. So spectacular. So what does this mean for the Pelicans?
I think the Pelicans now, I had them as an 8th seed going into the playoffs. I don't think I had them in the playoffs without Zion being healthy throughout the regular season.
Okay, who is it worse for, right? Because you looked at the calendar and you thought...
It's worse for the networks.
It's worse for the league,
networks.
Right?
I mean, you think about it tonight. So I know that the Pelicans are playing tonight against the Raptors, but almost in a way, like Zion is must-see TV, and that's where TNT, that's for us here at ESPN, that's for local TV stations. I mean, local TV stations have booked some of his games out from last year because he is must-see TV. It hurts as a fan.
It certainly hurts the league as well, especially because he is this bright young star for the next generation, if you will. But from more of a macro look at Zion, because there's a lot of questions about his physical makeup and whether that lends itself to durability into the league. Are you concerned?
Extremely concerned about sustainability. I mean, I think this is his 4th injury that he's had since high school. And when you think about Zion, he's 6'6", 284 pounds. He's the 3rd heaviest player in the league, behind Boban and Taco Fall.
And Boban is 7'3"?
Over 7'3".
Yeah.
Right? Taco Fall, I think, is 7'5". So, and he only weighs 7 pounds less than Boban at 291 pounds. So with that reckless abandon that he attacks the rim, he increases his risk of injury with that landing zone, and that's what we saw. And look, there was an NBA doctor, expert medical guy that said, you know, you increase the risk of degenerative tissue. Obviously with a part of your meniscus missing. And this is something that you worry about long durability-wise.
He's a little knock-kneed as well.
Yes.
And it's never good when people are already putting Greg Oden's face on your body on memes. Speaking of injuries in New Orleans, you got an update?
Indeed, okay. Al. This one actually may be good news as we run the hurry up here. Drew Brees is planning on